Alright, howdy folks, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to World War III. I've been wanting to make a follow-up video to my last dedicated World War III video for a while, as there are quite a few things that have happened or were supposed to happen to the game, so let's get into it. First of all, I just wanted to mention the sniper gameplay in World War III. I actually only recently unlocked the first sniper rifle, but I just wasn't a fan of sniping back in 2019 when I first played the game. I didn't really think to try it out in this 2022 build. Man, was I wrong. Again, sniping sucked back in 2019. It feels glorious in this latest version. The G29 rifle is incapable of one-shotting an enemy unless they have previously taken damage, or you headshot them. With a little bit of practice and some decent aim, this is a totally different World War III experience. To me, World War III was a game where you kind of throw your body at a capture point with your team and hope enough of you make it there and stay alive to capture it. Change that to sitting and defending a point and sniping incoming enemies, or taking down an enemy or two on a hostile objective your team is attacking felt really cool. I originally actually just wanted to record some background footage for this video, but it turned into a almost 2-hour session of me mostly really enjoying the sniper gameplay. So a huge issue myself and others had with the game in this latest iteration was the sound. Now, the patch at the beginning of March basically did a full revamp of the audio for weapons, footsteps, and more. You can actually hear friendlies run around you and, more importantly, enemies clearly running both in and outside, which is greatly reduced being flanked by so-called stealthy enemies. Now, these footsteps took some getting used to, but after a round or two, I felt like I was very capable of pre-holding corners where I heard enemy footsteps approaching from. A definitely very neat change, and good to see it works pretty nicely. I'm still disappointed in a few things though. I've got enough points to airdrop a tank destroyer into the battle at one point, and I was able to live for way too long and take down too many enemies. If I hadn't gotten impatient, I probably could have reached a way higher score, to be honest. Vehicles still feel super strong even when on the Moscow map. Only the middle C objective is really contestable in a vehicle. It just means to me that if I see an enemy has a vehicle in the middle, I'm going to either go to the Alpha or Bravo objectives, and I do see this with other people around me that tend to do the same thing. This way, the first team to get a heavy armor piece can lock down the middle objective and rack up some easy capture points. Now, also, vehicles still have this third-person camera, which makes them very strong as it's hard to sneak up on them. Even then, if you manage to really damage a vehicle, they can just pop smokes, run back to base, and get a full repair. Now, being in a vehicle is not all good news, as the terrain is not really easy traversable, with you getting stuck on random bits of scenery being the most aggravating thing. And this is where the third-person camera might just be a requirement. Without the third-person camera here, it would actually be hard to get out of some of the binds you can get yourself into. As I mentioned in my previous World War III video, another thing to have yet to fix is the horrible spawns. Again, using Moscow as an example, but this kind of works on all maps. When a single enemy soldier enters an objective, you can no longer spawn on that point to defend it. Seeing as Moscow is rather big, so the enemy attacks B1, you now have to spawn at C1 or C2, hoping your team owns one of those, or at the base to go all the way over to B1 and contest it. If there are no vehicles at your base, you have a quite decent way to run. This feels way too punishing for a game where you can die in literally one shot. The maps feel huge still for the relatively small number of players. In this game mode, it is 40 players total, or a 20 versus 20, and I really wish we got an extension to the player number per game. Now, I will say that the good thing, since my last video, their average and their peak player numbers, according to Steam charts anyway, has been steadily rising. I personally was really worried the game was going to die out before the free-to-play launch would happen. This is actually scheduled for the end of March, which brings me to the last point of this video. Currently, only people who either paid for a copy way back in 2018 or 2019 can play the game, or people who pay for a beta pack now. The idea is that the game will be free to play and open to the public at some point, but they've recently announced this actually has been pushed indefinitely without a new date being set. I hope they use this time to test larger servers, because a 60-man server should be easily doable and is still under the more commonly seen 64-player number. Right now, there are quite a few other things I'd like to see before they release. Some of them I mentioned already above. A huge one, besides more players per game and less strong vehicles, would definitely be the addition of more maps or a game mode like Battlefield's Rush, where one team defends and one team attacks. If they can pull off making World War III feel like an actual war between two teams and not 20 players split between 6 objectives, this could be a damn good competitor for Battlefield, especially seeing as Battlefield 2042 seems to be taking L after L, as the kids say. If you're looking to pick up a Battlefield style game for just a few bucks and you can't wait for the game to go free to play, I'd recommend this game for about 15 bucks for sure. If you, however, want to hold off till the free to play release, I really don't blame you. This isn't the first time World War III has tried to appeal to the public, and the last time they tried, the game died off real fast. However, will going free to play change that? We'll have to find out. I just wonder if they can bring it out before people lose interest. For now, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope to catch you in the next one.